the people who created it. And that's where this procrastination Crenshaw conversation gets real. As you know, the community sent a formal letter to Harris Dawson. We're still waiting for an official response from the city. The deadline is Friday, September 4th. But in the interim, Harris Dawson penned an open letter to the community. Okay, that's fine, but responding is not the same as answering. That said, let's not confuse fixing the parking, repairing the streetlights, and repaving streets and sidewalks with finishing Destination Crenshaw. The community was promised a transformational project. So, where is it? When is this thing going to be finished? The council president says the project is being delivered on a timeline. What timeline? That's not an unreasonable question, and that's not an attack. It's not division. That is accountability. And then there's the business interruption money. So in his letter, Harris Dawson says that more than $1 million went to Doolin's on Crenshaw, and additional assistance went to a few other individuals. Oh, really? Who received the money? How much money? And who didn't? I can assure you a whole lot of folk didn't get that money. How do I know? I'm getting the phone calls. You see, transparency should not scare anybody. That's how accountability works, and that's why in our letter, we ask for an audit. But instead, what do we get? A discussion about Tavis Smiley, the pastor, the parishioners, the business owners, the people asking the questions, their motives, their ambitions, their character. Well, let me tell you something. When you can't answer the questions, attacking, insulting, and gaslighting the persons asking the questions doesn't make the questions disappear. It just makes people ask why you won't answer it. Let me be clear. We don't want to fight with the council president. We want the project finished because the people of Crenshaw are not on the sidelines, Mr. President. They are Crenshaw. And if culture really is undefeated, then respect the culture, respect the people, respect the businesses, and most importantly, respect the questions. Now, answer them. The Crenshaw Corridor community is still waiting, and September 4th is fast approaching. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
Just talking louder and say nothing and say nothing.
The blackness, keep on. Never say die, keep on. Blackness, keep on. Never say die.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nicordelai Corte, your host and White House correspondent, joining you live an afternoon drive time right here in LA, where I'm in touch, and so you be in touch. Follow me on all the socials at Dr. Nicordelai. Just type in Dr. Niq, DRNIIQ, and there I am. Fresh for you to follow. Also, be sure to download the KBLA app if you haven't already, and subscribe to A More Perfect Union podcast. That way you won't miss some of our most memorable conversations. Speaking of something memorable, hat tip to all the families I had a chance to meet with and talk to this weekend. I was on assignment for the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project, a project that is very close to my heart. I was on assignment in Mississippi. I was in West Point, Mississippi, Tupelo, Mississippi, Palo Alto, Mississippi, talking with an extraordinary family who has lost some land that they should have inherited, and we're collecting their story as we build one of the biggest national archives dedicated to Black land loss in this country. And so more on that in the near future. But I bring it up because when I was traveling back, I stayed the night in Memphis. That's where I flew out of. It's about 2.5 hours or so from the part of Mississippi I was in. And when I pulled up to my hotel, it was pitch black in Memphis. It's because a terrible storm had rolled through Memphis and had knocked the power out. And, silly me, I thought that all hotels had backup generators. But all the hotels on this particular block of Memphis apparently did not, because even the sign with the hotel name, that wasn't even lit up. And so it's just a reminder. It's a reminder, that our power grid is nothing to play with. We're talking so much about these data centers going up at breakneck speed. We're not talking enough about the kind of stress it puts on already stressed out power grids. And just as we're talking about the tens of thousands of people without power in Memphis, we should not lose sight of the thousands of folks in Gary, Indiana, that are still without power. That is our leadoff story this hour. We want to make sure we start with a story that really should be getting a lot more national attention than it is. 10 days, y'all. 10 days. That's how long thousands of families in Gary, Indiana, went without power after severe storms with winds up to 99 miles per hour, Category 2 hurricane strength. It tore through the region on August 11th. At the peak, over 60% of NIPSCO's customers, that's the power company in the area, over 60% of NIPSCO's customers in Gary were dark. Residents have been sleeping in cars just to run the air conditioning, doing laundry in sinks, navigating streets with no street lights at 2 a.m. Gary's mayor, Eddie Melton, who has been a guest on this show, and we hope to have him back in short order. He's been on the ground acknowledging how frustrating and difficult this has been, while the Gary NAACP, local churches, and the Food Bank of Northwest Indiana have stepped in to fill gaps that utility crews haven't closed yet. There's a group called ComEd, and they sent over 60 workers from Chicago to help restore power. This is a majority Black city carrying a disaster largely off the national radar. And that's exactly the kind of story that we exist to cover. And so if you want to help, look out for our socials, our KBLA socials, in terms of how you can help. I know during the commercial break, I personally made a donation to Gary, Indiana's power outage relief program, the Rapid Response. If you go to donate.rebuild.us, that's donate.rebuild.us, it should take you directly to that page where you can support the people of Gary during this extended power outage. It's not lost on me that the same community that gave us Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5, Janet Jackson, same community that helped to unleash the genius of those artists and so many more, is currently under distress. And we've seen this story before, but we are not without ability to be a part of the solution in any way, shape, or form. And so, Gary, Indiana, we are thinking of you, and we're going to keep this issue front and center. As we move along today, I want to move to some good news. Some good news because we always need a dose of hope. We always need a little bit of good news. And Brock Morgan, a Howard University grad, former Bison linebacker, and fresh off of a master's from Northwestern's Medill School of Journalism, just landed his first on-air job as an anchor and reporter at Fox 54 in Huntsville, Alabama. Congratulations to Brock Morgan. It took 223 applications. That's right, 223. He told Axios Huntsville most of the responses he got were versions of "thank you for applying," but unfortunately. And what got him through the door wasn't just the resume. It was connecting directly with people at the station instead of just hitting submit and hoping. Brock, if you're watching, welcome to the business. And congratulations. This is exactly the kind of persistence story that our community needs on repeat right about now. And so we love that. Just hearing Brock's story, it took me down memory lane a little bit, because it's not just getting your first job in journalism, but it's even sometimes getting your first internship, because it is highly competitive out there. And you better believe with the consolidation of media outlets, it's become in many ways more, not less competitive. And so congratulations to him. Moving along, I want to talk about a dethroned Miss North Carolina suing. And you don't want to miss this one. This is Brittany Boltonhouse, the former Miss North Carolina USA, who was stripped of her title this month after old posts surfaced showing her repeatedly using a racial slur. Well, guess what? She's now suing the Miss USA organization, alleging defamation. Not disputing that she used the slur, but claiming her removal was really about her support for Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk. This is an active, unresolved legal matter. The organization has not responded publicly to the filing, and the claims in the lawsuit have not been proven in court. And so we'll keep you posted as this thing shakes out. But when we come forward, you don't want to miss my conversation from earlier today with Crystle Stewart. She is one of the stars of Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black. Season 3 drops this Thursday, August 27th on Netflix. And season 4 is already locked in. You know I'm going to be watching. And I have a feeling you're going to be watching, especially after this conversation. You're listening to and streaming a More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward with Crystle Stewart of Netflix Beauty in Black.
You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-729-7070. That's 1-800-729-7070. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-729-7070. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
You ready? Drop it.
2 shows, 1 Friday, all Amanda Seals. What's up, y'all? Catch me here on KBLA Talk 1580, first from noon to 2 p.m. And if you miss me, I'm back 4 to 6 p.m. See, this is where the conversation gets real. Ooh, and it gets good. So don't miss it. Fridays only on KBLA Talk 1580.
We hear you. We feel you.
We've got nothing but love for you.
Say what's on your mind and follow the convo wherever you go. Download the KBLA app on your phone and never miss a moment of the
All new KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Just in case you missed our Procrastination Crenshaw Town Hall.
My name is Khalifa Bay. I am the founder of the South LA Bureau of Tourism and Trade. And how this is impacting me is that I can't promote it. I won't promote it. I hear a lot of talk about everybody. Accountability is responsibility. Change your vote. Change the vote. I know there's a lot of Democrats in this room, and I get all that, but if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result, it ain't gonna happen. And it's not about Democrat, Republican, it's about getting what we need to get done. That's what it is for me, because this is deliberate. This of our communities, you look at Chicago, you look at all the black communities were built by us, we're in the same condition. So to me, it's by design. And if we don't do something to change the vote to get to what we need, stop having these meetings.
Making sure they stick to the truth. We're KBLA, Talk 1580.
We have no permanent friends or permanent enemies. Only permanent interests. As we effort to build a more perfect union.
You are listening and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nicordelai Corte, and family, we are shifting gears. I need everybody who is driving right now to keep both hands on the wheel, because this next guest is about to have you shouting at your radio. My husband, Montre, who, fun fact, runs Married at First Sight. He's a showrunner for Married at First Sight. He's been texting me all weekend really about this interview. And if you know, you know, Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black. It comes back for season 3 on Netflix August 17th. And get this, season 4 is already ordered before season 3's even dropped. That's not a renewal. That's a victory lap. Joining us is the woman who plays Mallory Bellery, the queen bee, the one who makes a boardroom feel like a battlefield. She's a former Miss USA, first Black woman to ever own the Miss USA and Miss Teen USA pageant organizations, and longtime collaborator of Tyler Perry's going back over a decade. Welcome to A More Perfect Union, Crystle Stewart.
Hello, what an introduction. Wow, thank you.
Well, I mean, what a life, what artistry, what an example you are as a multi-hyphenate. First things first, as I mentioned, my husband Montre, he, showrunner for Married at First Sight, and so he knows a thing or two about drama between people who are supposed to be on the same team. He clocked Mallory's Ice Queen energy immediately. Where does that come from? Is any of that really you, or is that strictly costume and character work?
It's really character work. I'll be honest. Like, Mallory is the polar opposite of Crystle, but I like that people believe that I may be like that, because it makes me feel like, okay, I must be doing a good job as an actress. So, but we're polar opposites, to be honest, me and Mallory.
and you got a decade plus relationship with Tyler Perry. Good Deeds, Acrimony, For Better or Worse, and now Beauty
Good
in Black.
Deeds. I forgot about Good Deeds.
That's right. We do our research around here.
Yes, like Good Deeds.
At this point, does he even have to give you a script, or does he just text you, quote, be devastating and trust you to handle it?
With this one, I auditioned for Mallory and Beauty in Black. You would think, because I was out of the acting world for a bit because I was running the Miss USA organization. So I was completely focused on that and stopped that and came back into acting. And he said, there may be a role that may be interesting. And so my agent called, like, hey, you have this audition, let's do it. And did the initial audition, nailed it, like killed it. Because I had to play kind of like 2 different people, really nice, right? And then she's this bitch behind the scenes. But at the actual audition, I thought I didn't get it. I messed up so bad. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yes, so bad. I was like, I did not get this role. But sure enough, I got the call. And I just feel blessed that he trusted me with such a role as playing Mallory. So that's where we are.
If favor ain't fair.
Yes.
You went from Miss USA to playing a woman who could probably out-negotiate half of Wall Street. I mean, did pageant life, did that secretly train you for boardroom warfare, or is Mallory a completely different muscle?
No, but pageantry definitely prepared me for that, for sure. I mean, because you have to be prepared mentally, physically, emotionally when you're competing in a pageant. People don't get it, but pageant's like a sport. You have to keep up your endurance. And it also taught me resilience pageantry. And so, because I competed for like 5 times for Miss Texas in order to win and then go on to Miss USA. So I bring all of the things and the experiences and the resilience and the patience that I learned in pageantry. I bring it into the character of Mallory.
Crystle, for anybody who hasn't caught up, I want to talk a little bit about season 3. Who
Okay.
is Mallory Bellery, and where do we find her walking into season 3?
Wow. In season 3, I feel with season 3, she's established who she is. She's, that girl. She's a businesswoman. She's a leader. She's a fashion maven. She's all those things. And she's also willing to do what it takes to keep her power and survive. So she can't be underestimated because she'll take it from you. So in season 3, I feel it peels back more layers of who she is. In season 2, you saw a bit of a vulnerable side, right? Of Mallory that you hadn't seen before. And that's a layer that's pulled back. So each season we're pulling back more layers of Mallory so you can understand why she is who she is and why she does what she does.
I mean, we saw a vulnerable side. We saw her be the queen of petty. We've seen her make TV history. I mean, never before have we seen somebody do that with a pot of coffee.
With a pot. I mean, if I saw that meme and that pot of coffee one more time on Instagram, it was just in every language. I mean, I saw it in Chinese. I'm like, everyone was seeing that scene. So it was really, really great. And I didn't think it would go so viral, this coffee scene, but I think a lot of women were like, you got to do something, go for it. When they see me, they're like, oh my God, the coffee scene. And then running the car through the house.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, in the fire smoking.
I mean, it's that mix of throwing hot grits on some man that ain't treating you right, and it's a little bit of Bernadine from Waiting to Exhale.
Yes.
Who burn up that car. Let's talk about how season 2 ended with Kimmy and Mallory as enemies. In season 3, it opens with them forced into this alliance after this deadly family feud. What was it like shooting that shift, going from rivals to reluctant partners with Taylor Williams?
I thought it was great. And because, of course, behind the scenes, we're great friends and nice. She's wonderful. We're both from Houston. So it was, really natural for us. But in the show, it was different and unexpected. And I liked it because they put us as rivals. And then you don't expect for us to become alliances at the end of the day. But Mallory, first off, likes a challenge, and she respects strong women. And she saw the strength in Kimmy. And she felt they were cut from the same cloth. Kimmy grew up in foster care. Mallory grew up in foster care, but people didn't know that. And then when she spoke to her in Rain, she's like, look, we're the same person. We can do this together. And it's like, how? So I went through the same thing as you, probably even worse. And look at where I am now. So she, I think, really liked her strength and was up for the challenge. And I liked that it was a surprise at the end of the day for the fans for this alliance between Mallory and Kimmy.
Yeah, I really love that foster care piece. I've been an advocate for foster youth for many years. And so it's great to see how you all had, sort of humanized foster youth in a really special way through your characters. That's really, really cool. We know Netflix is calling it an uneasy alliance. Give us the temperature. Is this a fragile truce? Is it a fragile truce that could snap any minute? Or is there real trust building between these two women?
I think you have to wait and see. I mean, if you know Mallory's character, she's willing to do what it takes to get what she wants. I feel Mallory has a genuine friendship with attorney Varney. She hasn't changed on him yet. So it could be the same with Kimmy, but I guess you have to wait and see to find out if she flips the script. It's all about survival in those shares for Mallory. So she has had.
And this season it's 6 episodes instead of the usual 8. Tighter, faster, some people say. But did that change how you approach the pacing of Mallory's arc?
No, I think it's 8 episodes. Actually, so it's 8. We normally do 16, but it's 8 episodes. But did it change the pacing of the arc? Not quite. I don't think it made it any, quicker or anything. We put the same authenticity and time into the characters this season as we did the other seasons as well. It's just in a shorter period of time, but there's definitely an arc there that you'll see. Mhm.
Well, we can't wait to see it. I want to talk about working with Tyler Perry without
Uh-huh.
spoiling anything.
Mhm.
Is there anything that Tyler will fire you for? Like,
Oh, yeah.
what can you tease about how far this family war is going to go? I mean, we heard the words FBI and empire crashing down in the trailer language.
Now, first off, Tyler, he'll fire you in a second. He's, his work ethic is top tier. He wants you to work hard. He likes good, actors, but on the side, no, he'll fire you in a second. But he's very loyal to his people and his Tyler universe actors. But you never know. I think with this season, who's gonna be still with us? You never know. I think he's willing to go there and keep fans surprised and on their toes. Everyone is at risk. Everyone's playing hardball. Everyone wants that power, and at some point it comes to a head, and someone's going to drop off at the end of the day, potentially.
I mean, this storyline, it really cuts deep. Mallory's storyline, it sits at the intersection of family, money, and power. It feels familiar. Themes that hit different for Black audiences who've watched generational wealth get built and threatened in real life. Do you feel that resonance when you're playing her?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can take from a life experience of mine, having success, having it all, things seeming great, and then it's all gone in like a day, everything. Money, family, relationship, everything's gone. So I take that into that character with Mallory. I see why she's fighting so hard to keep what she has. She's, come from foster care and built everything from nothing. And the fact that it could possibly be taken away like that, she's not letting that happen. And I just bring in my life experience of losing it all and experiencing that. I bring that into the character, and that's what makes her fight so hard.
I mean, have you wrapped your brain?
The audience is listening. Thought-provoking, eye-opening, heart-rendering. This is where authentic voices meet powerful discussions on culture, community, and change. This is where Black voices matter. He's breaking boundaries, amplifying diverse perspectives, and tackling the issues that matter most to you. You're inside A More Perfect Union with Dr. Nee Cordelai-Corte on KBLA Talk 1580.
Esther Dillard with BIN News Now. The White House is unveiling what it calls an economic D-Day for Iran. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the new sanctions amount to an economic onslaught against Iran to further isolate it from the rest of the world. Speaking from the Treasury Department on Monday, Bessent said Operation Economic Outcast will cut off Iran from exporting oil and from other trade.
Our objective is to sever every economic lifeline.
President Trump is increasing tariffs on cars, trucks, and auto parts from Canada to 50%. He made the announcement in a Truth Social post this morning after two countries failed to reach a trade agreement over the weekend. And Black Republican Florida Congressman Byron Donalds is under fire for blaming a measles outbreak on illegal immigration. Donalds pointed to outbreaks in El Paso and Southwest Florida, but offered no data to back the claim. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Cleveland Browns head coach Todd Monken announced Monday morning that Deshaun Watson, not Shedeur Sanders, will be the team's starting quarterback in Week 1. Watson beat out Deion Sanders despite missing the entire 2025 season and having a shaky performance in Saturday's preseason game against Buffalo. 5 out of 12 completions for only 35 yards and 1 interception. Browns fans booed Watson during the game. Sanders started the final 8 games for the Browns last season, but apparently did not perform well enough in practice and 2 preseason games to keep the job. In the 2 games, Sanders was 15-22 for 153 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. It might have been a tough call for the Browns franchise to keep Watson on the bench with his $46 million salary this season. Watson also cost the Browns 3 first-round draft picks when they traded for him in 2022. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Let's do this.
Every vote matters. Every voice counts. And between now and November, the decisions made in Washington, Sacramento, and here at home in Los Angeles will shape the future of your family and your community. Don't leave it to chance, and don't leave it to guesswork. KBLA Talk 1580 is your source for the political conversations that matter most. Real talk, real insight, right here. KBLA Talk 1580, the place for politics. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. These are hard times for housing in America. Too many in our community face barriers to safe housing, behavioral health care, and affirming spaces for healing, particularly those impacted by poverty and stigma or incarceration. Rooted in South LA, Ahmad supports impacted communities through housing, wellness, and leadership development. Ahmad provides culturally responsive, peer-led support from transitional housing and mental health services to leadership development and youth empowerment. They offer safe, affirming houses for youth, transgender women, and formerly incarcerated individuals. Therapy and peer support with a focus on healing trauma in Black communities. HIV prevention and care, free testing, education, and wraparound services for whole person wellness. Standing in the gap with health, housing, and hope. Reach out to Ahmad Institute at 323-569-1610. That's 323-569-1610. Or visit amaad.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We are anti-racist, and anti-stupid stuff. Unapologetically progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm John Wood Jr., host of the Kingdom Project, weekends on KBLA Talk 1580. Black America has a tradition of holding the United States of America to the standard of her stated principles when it comes to democracy. When the country has said all men are created equal, Black people have demanded that we mean it. In the long history of holding America accountable to the promise of her ideals, no name looms larger than Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day.
But as the country has drifted from the ideals of Dr. King, do Black people have a special obligation to revive Dr. King's philosophy? Furthermore, does the Black church have a responsibility to renew the moral leadership of America and reacquaint the nation with the gospel principles that inform Dr. King's philosophy? Tune in Sundays at 9 a.m. Pacific as I make the case for the revival of the philosophy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the moral leadership of the Black church, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
National News The Consequence. Informed opinion. And analysis beyond the headlines. You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
In my life experience of losing it all and experiencing that, I bring that into the character, and that's what makes her fight so hard.
I mean, have you wrapped your brain around the phenomenon of Beauty in Black has become, the cultural impact? We know that season 1, it spent 7 weeks in Netflix Global Top 10 and hit number 1 in 28 countries. Season 2, 6 weeks in the top 10, number 1 in 17 countries. When you're on set, do those numbers even feel real, or does it just feel like you're making a show?
No, on set, we're focused and just really trying to, create a great show and give the fans what they want. When you're outside of it, that's when it really hits. I'll be, at a grocery store, and sometimes I'm with my kids and forgetting, and I have fans come up to me wanting to take a picture. I'm like, oh shoot, I got my hat and glasses on, and everything. But what really got me was traveling out of the country. And the fans there that love the show from Italians to Brazilians to the French. I mean, it's just worldwide. I had one young lady come up to me. I think I was in Italy, and I thought she just couldn't speak English because she couldn't say anything. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, do you not speak English?" She said, "No, I speak English." She was just so, fan struck or starstruck or whatever. I'm like, gosh, this show is really, really a hit. So it's sinking in slowly but surely.
Yeah, I mean, this show, it's a rare thing, a Black-led primetime soap with this
Mhm.
level of global reach. Talk to us about what does it mean to you to be a part of something that's proving on a massive scale that our stories travel?
That, it just shows the power of, to me, the Black community, Black entertainment, Black support, and how it resonates to people all over the world. I mean, we have Latinas watching the show, and just different ethnicities watching this Black show, and that's empowering. And it's making an impact. What I love about Tyler Perry shows, there's always a message in there. Despite all the drama and the craziness, there's messages about sex trafficking, sexuality, foster care, like you said. So not only are we reaching different audiences, but we're teaching lessons as well.
Okay, Crystle, real talk.
Okay.
Mallory has said some legendary things. She said them right to people's faces on the show. Off camera, do people ever come up to you in real life just a little scared, like they expect you to read them too?
Yes, and that was the thing in the beginning I had to get used to. I'm like, gosh, I'm not like that. I would never say that to someone. But again, I embraced it. I was like, Crystle, it just means that you're doing a good job. Take that as a compliment that they believe you're really like Mallory, that you're really Mallory. So I make sure I overextend myself, and then I'm super nice. I always take pictures. I give hugs. That's genuinely who I am. So I make sure I show that to people like, hey, Mallory's a character. I'm glad you love to hate her. But who you're meeting is Crystle.
And we love Crystle. We love Crystle as much as we love Mallory.
Thanks.
In our remaining minutes with you, I want to get a little personal. You've built 2 full careers, pageantry and entertainment leadership, then acting, and you've excelled at both. What's the through line? What's the skill that transfers no matter what room you're in?
It's these 3 P's that I live by and I always do speeches on. It's patience, persistence, and prayer. It's got me through just a lot of just through life. So patience, persistence, and prayer got me through pageantry, and through my businesses, and now through acting. So you get a lot of no's in all of them, right? In acting, you get no's. In businesses, you get no's. Entertainment, you get no's. But that persistence and that prayer keeps me going and keeps up my endurance, in order for me to reach the goals that I have for myself. So that's my through line.
And we love the 3 Ps, and we love alliteration. That's easy to remember. For young Black folks, particularly young Black women who are watching, who feel like they have to pick one lane, the beauty lane, the business lane, or the art lane, what do you tell them?
I'm the one, I always have some mentees that I work with. I say, do it all. Honestly, you can do it all. I've learned that, I used to be like, okay, you got to balance though. How do you balance it? It's not even about balancing. It's about prioritizing, what's the, priority now. But I say, go for it all, that you can do it. The sky's the limit. I'm a living witness and have a living testimony that if you set your goals, you work hard, you practice those 3 Ps, success is near, and that it's possible. Dreams do come true.
Dreams certainly do, they do come true, and they look good, especially this early in the morning. We're looking at the dream right now. Last one, no pressure, but give it to us straight. I think I know where you're going to go with this, but
okay.
Should we be Team Mallory or Team Kimmy this season?
You're wrong for that. Look, oh man, how do I answer that diplomatically? It depends, the people, some people are pro Kimmy. They want to succeed. They see her coming from the bottom up. And then I have my Mallory crew, though. My Malloryisms, my Mallory people, they have my back. So I would say give Mallory a good shot this season.
Ooh.
And yeah, they may be, we'll see. But come watch this season with an open mind. For Mallory.
Okay, that's exactly what we do. That is Crystle Stewart, Mallory Bellery herself. Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black season 3 premieres on Netflix August 27th, and season 4 is already locked in. So this ride is just getting started. Montre, if you're listening, I got you. Family, clear your schedule for the 27th. You've been warned. You've been listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. Thank you, Crystle Stewart.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And shout out to Montrey.
Come back anytime.
Okay, thank you.
Got a lot to talk about.
Are you feeling the heat? LADWP can help you stay cool this summer and save money. Through the Cool LA program, eligible customers can receive instant rebates of up to $275 on new portable, window, and wall air conditioners. Shop the Cool LA Marketplace today and beat the heat and save. Learn more and apply at ladwp.com/cool-LA. That's ladwp.com/cool-LA.
Helping communities get connected. Along the Crenshaw corridor, free public Wi-Fi is now available thanks to Destination Crenshaw and the City of Los Angeles. Whether you're checking email, applying for jobs, finishing homework, or supporting your local businesses, staying connected is easier than ever because access to the internet means access to opportunity. To learn more and find Wi-Fi locations near you, visit www.getconnected.lacity.gov.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil, one simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to metamucil.com for more details.
Just in case you missed our Procrastination Crenshaw Town Hall.
My name is Asata Umoja. I'm with the Hyde Park Organizational Partnership for Empowerment, which is at the southern end of Crenshaw. And this community has been greatly impacted. As a matter of fact, one of the things that we're most concerned about is just being totally neglected. And what I mean is being excluded from the process. When this project first started, they should have made sure that our organization, since we were most impacted, was in there. So we've been excluded, and we've seen commercial properties be taken for art projects. And we're very concerned about these are spaces that could help build economic growth and development in the community. And what this community needs more of is economic development, not art. I mean, I like art. It's a good thing. But they're putting the cart before the horse because without a solid economic foundation, what they are calling cultural tourism absolutely has no significance and no meaning. And this community is going under if we don't stop and do something to help build that economic foundation and support the businesses that are the tax base for this community to build the kind of services that we need. And the response from our leadership is totally inadequate.
Holding them accountable. We're KBLA, Talk 1580.
Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction.
Notable journalists, industry leaders, lawmakers, change makers, tastemakers, and you, working to build a more perfect union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nicordelai Corte, and it is about that time. It's time for the quiet part out loud. And before I talk about the midterms, I want to talk about some interviews that NPR recently did with a number of National Guards folks that are currently stationed in Washington, D.C. You all know how much I travel back and forth between L.A. and Washington, D.C. And, I'm still a D.C. taxpayer. I live primarily here in L.A. now, but what happens in D.C., it still matters to me. And I suspect that it also matters to you. I think it's important whenever we have a chance to shine a light on what our folks in uniform are experiencing. I think what we should do is pay very, 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 very close attention. Should pay very close attention because, uh, it is instructive to how we might show up at the polls. It's instructive to who we hold accountable. And so let me just say that the thousands of National Guards members that have been patrolling the streets of Washington, D.C. for more than a year now, and what's become Trump's largest and longest domestic military deployment. Take that in for a second. Did you know that? That the troops in D.C., it's become the president's largest and longest domestic military deployment. Their presence, it's become a common and, dare I say, controversial topic of conversation among D.C. residents and constitutional experts, raising concerns about the normalization of armed troops in a city for an extended period of time, let alone in our nation's capital. As reported by our friends at NPR, members of the military, they're not allowed to speak to the press without authorization. Under this administration, those rules and ramifications for breaking them have gotten even stricter. But that hasn't stopped some members who are no longer a part of the mission. They have become more open to sharing their thoughts as the deployment enters its second year and has been extended to the end of President Trump's term. Someone said, quote, "I don't want to think about the National Guard. I don't want to necessarily discuss my affiliation with the National Guard. I don't want to fulfill my normal National Guard duties just because of the abuses of the National Guard in this DC mission." That's what one Guard member said, noting that isn't how he felt after previous domestic deployments. That Guard member was one of three who spoke to our friends over at NPR on the condition of anonymity because they're still serving. And as I said earlier, they're barred from speaking publicly. All of them were deployed as a part of the DC Safe and Beautiful mission for many months, and each has more than a decade of service. These were really candid interviews. We're hearing Guards members describe their feelings throughout their time on the deployment and their worries about new norms that it's establishing. Our men in uniform, our men and women in uniform, they discuss the cost, which is expected to run into the billions. And they say that they worry that Trump's unprecedented use of the troops is damaging the National Guard's reputation with the American public. It's also worth noting that all of them were skeptical about the administration's original reason for the deployment: to help law enforcement after declaring a crime emergency despite a 30-year low in violent crime in the city. That math don't math. And our men and women in uniform, they know that math don't math. One of them said, quotes, "Now, with it being a year, it's hard to feel like that justification holds any water. It feels like the Guard is being exploited in a sense." That's what a member of the National Guard in D.C., that's what they're saying. Courageously, on conditions of anonymity to the press. Another National Guards member said it feels more like a political stunt, pointing out the way the Guard has been inserted into certain narratives by the administration, like being ordered to patrol the perimeter of the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool following its faulty renovation. That's how we're using National Guards members. Our friends over at NPR, they reached out to both the White House and the DC Joint Task Force regarding the concerns that were raised by the Guards members. The White House responded by reiterating how safe DC is now without providing any evidence that the Guard is responsible for decreasing crime. In a statement, Brigadier General Leland Blanchard II, the interim commanding general of the DC National Guard, called the deployment unique and pointed to significant accomplishments that Guard members contributed in the past year, including assisting law enforcement with apprehensions, rendering medical aid, and reuniting lost children with their families. America, we have a problem. You have to take my word for it. This isn't, some extreme person on the left or extreme person on the right calling this out. This is members of the DC National Guard speaking on conditions of anonymity to the press. You know what that means? They want you to know. Something ain't right. The question is, what will we do with this information now that we know something ain't right? From the people who are on the front lines to do right. That is perhaps one of the major questions of our time. As we close today, I want to turn to midterm interference watch. Let's just call it that. Because that's what it is. The LA Times is reporting that Democratic leaders, voting rights advocates, and civic organizations across California and across the country are actively preparing for what they describe as a 3-part interference playbook from the Trump administration. Deceive voters before the election, disrupt the vote itself, and deny the results if they don't like them. Much of this preparation is happening quietly. It's happening deliberately, so as not to tip off the administration or spook voters unnecessarily. Legal teams are pre-writing challenges to potential ballot seizures. And House staffers are combing through recent court rulings, line by line, looking for loopholes the administration might try to exploit. They're watching California closely too, including the fallout from Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco's seizure of ballots and ongoing criticism over slow statewide counting. Let me tell you why this matters. Why this matters for every single person streaming, every single person listening. This isn't abstract anymore. This is lawyers right now, today, wargaming. They are wargaming what happens if federal agents show up near polling places or if mail ballots get delayed on purpose. Justin Vale of Protect Democracy, he put it plainly, saying that the threats are real, but the preparation is larger and more coordinated than ever before. So, in case you're wondering, our job, and I mean all of us, is simple. Know your rights. More specifically, know your voting rights. Know your deadlines. And don't let anybody, not fear, not confusion, not a bad faith actor at a polling place, don't let anybody talk you out of your ballot. You got to ask yourself if there are folks that are going to extreme measures to keep us from casting our ballot. Must be a powerful tool. must be a powerful tool. And, it's worth noting that there are bad actors out there. There are forces out there that make it their business to create this atmosphere of inevitability. I was talking to Tavis Smiley on air this morning about exactly this, how there are folks out there that are looking to create this atmosphere of inevitability. I think it was Alice Walker, the great writer, Alice Walker, who said that the fastest way that we give away our power is by first believing that we have none. And so part of our work and witness here on A More Perfect Union and here at KBLA is to remind you of your power to decide the future. That doesn't belong to anybody but all of us. That's our show for today. From a fire outside Reno to a family in Key West waiting on their father to come home from ICE custody. From Gary sitting in the dark to Crystle Stewart building an empire on our screens today reminded us of something we say around here a lot. Nobody's coming to save us, not without us organizing, not without us showing up, not without us looking out for each other first. I want to thank my guests today, Alan Orr Jr. and Crystle Stewart, for their time today. And thanks to each and every one of you, all of our leaders, learners, and listeners, for riding with us on the app, pulling us up on YouTube, and everyone that is listening on the airwaves. We appreciate you. Again, speaking of appreciation, my thanks to the Village helps us produce A More Perfect Union each and every day. Our executive producer, Tavis Smiley, our sound engineer, Brother Andy, our show producers, Art and Faraji, and each and every one of you. Remember, don't panic, organize. Do what you can from where you are with what you have, but by all means, do something. I'm Dr. Attiah Cortez. You've been listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union right here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Objective is to sever every economic lifeline